PhD, went to MIT, and produced more African American mathematicians in this country than any other black mathematician. He became the head of the math department at Morehouse College, and then he joined the Nation of Islam. And so this is just a little information on him. And I brought him to Durham, North Carolina. I brought Sista Souljah to Durham, as you said, who's one of the great participants in Chuck D's group called Public Enemy Number One. Julia Boyd came to Durham, North Carolina. Zane, the X-rated writer, came to Durham, North Carolina. I don't know where Zane is now, but she came to Durham, North Carolina. Had John Hope Franklin down on Fayetteville Street in the hood, right down on Fayetteville Street beside Church's Chicken, as you well know, Mark. And the list goes on. I mean, I can't even think of all of them that had some African Venezuelans who came from Venezuela under the leadership of Hugo Chavez. When Chavez was the president, they came and did a forum at the No Bookstore. Had some Cubans who came in who represented Fidel Castro from Cuba, from Havana, who came in talking about the medical school at Havana, Cuba, and trying to get African Americans to go to medical school in Cuba. So we had Afro-Cubans, Afro-Venezuelans, and various other people. Susan Taylor from Essence Magazine set foot down on Fayetteville Street in front of St. Joseph Church, right down there beside Fried Chicken, Church's Chicken, and beside Roy's Country Kitchen at the No Bookstore. So the list goes on. So that's just a little bit of information about some of the people that we brought in. And, of course, long before the jazz that's all over the Durham, Raleigh, Chapel area now, you know, because you used to come on Friday evening. We had Brother Yusef Salim playing on Friday night, didn't we, Mark? Jazz.
Yes, you did. Yep. At
the No Bookstore. Packed house, had jazz. Matter of fact, more Caucasians, more white folk down on Fayetteville Street than black folk down to hear our jazz. I was the last employer for the great John Snells, who people don't mention too much in Durham, North Carolina. Long before Sylvester and long before people transgendered, long before a lot of the other liberated things that are going on in the world today, John Snells, the he, the she, the it, as they call him, performed at the No Bookstore, you see, on Friday night, and we had live jazz there. And
Dean, I got to tell you, he also had some of the most amazing food. I still see every once in a while is some of the people that cook for him, and you could get an amazing meal at the No Bookstore as well.
Thank you, Mark. Right. As a matter of fact, my sister and some other people cooked at the No Bookstore. We had Sister Rhonda Muhammad's good old bean pie, didn't we?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So if you want to go to some callers, because I want to come back and I want to talk about my book too, because I got so much to talk about. So if you want to take some callers,
definitely. Let's see what callers we got. Dean, let's see if any of the callers have any questions for Brother Bruce. If you want to, I know we said we got Herbie White on, and we got some other callers. So let's see if any of them have any questions for Brother Bruce. And if you'll check on that, and then hello. Yeah, you check and see if any of the callers got any questions for him. We'll continue the conversation going on as well. And any of the callers that are on the line now, if you got any questions for Brother Bruce, let us know.
Or comments.
We'll bring you to the conversation.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Sound like you got two, Mark. I hear two voices back there.
Yeah, we got voices there. Herbie, how long have you known Brother Bruce?
I've been knowing Brother Bruce about 15, 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah, before I lived in Durham, when I came down here to visit my family, my brother took me to the bookstore because he knew that's where the place that I'd most want to be, and that's when I met him. And then when I moved down here and whatnot, and I just like to also mention about people that he had at the store. He had a book signing for Crystal Mangum when nobody wouldn't touch her.
Wow. And for folks to forget, that's the young lady that was involved in the Duke lacrosse case.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. So had that going on and everything. So, yeah, he just had some amazing folks going on that were guests on a regular basis. And you're right, he did touch a lot of folks that folks were afraid to deal with on and was, like I said, was not afraid to go out there and tackle folks. Bruce, now you said that the story has never been told, and I do want to get to the book and everything. let's hear your story as to why the bookstore isn't around and your hopes for the bookstore. Because like I said, I know that you definitely are hoping that it'll come back in some form or fashion. Are you doing any research to make that happen? Will it be back in Durham, or are you looking at possibly going to one of our other sister cities, or are you hoping to get it back here in Durham? And if you want to share a little bit about why we don't have the No Bookstore now, I'm sure folks would like to hear your perspective.
Oh, no problem. You asked me about 5 questions. My perspective will be the truthful perspective. So when you get it from me, you're going to get it from the horse's mouth. And if you want to take a caller first, you can take that call, then I'll come back and I can talk about it. Because we got a little time, don't we?
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Okay. You want to take another caller and then let me come back in? Doesn't matter. I heard you because you want to.
7282. The last number is 7282. How long have you known Brother Bruce, and do you have any questions for him? And then we'll have him answer the question about the No Bookstore.
Old chap, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. That's Brother Knight. I know Brother Knight's voice anywhere.
Yes, I've known Brother Bruce for 36 years. First of all, Brother Mark and my homeboy, co-host from Newark, New Jersey. Thank y'all for doing a good job. See, Mark told me that the co-host is from Newark. Brother Bruce, as you know, I'm from Newark, but I'm in Durham. Let me say this. I've been knowing Brother Bruce 36 years. And what he missed to tell you, we brought Sun Ra to Durham. I
forgot about Sun Ra.
Brown to Durham. Jamil Alameen, Durham. We brought Reverend Ashaka Musa Barasengo to Durham. We brought Naim Akbar to Durham. So Brother Bruce was the beacon of light with the No Bookstore. Anybody, matter of fact, Andrew Young spoke at the bookstore.
Oh, Dr. man, I forgot about all that.
Dr. Sarah Lincoln spoke at the bookstore. And we can go on and on. So when we talk about the bookstore, we're talking about an institution that's served Durham like no other institution in Durham. But
no doubt about that.
Yes, and we're thankful that Brother Bruce, he stood, and he didn't mention to you all, he had 2 radio stations, one called Talk Harambe, one called the Cultural Awareness Seminar, where Brother Bruce would teach Black history, African history, every week on these shows. Now, he was doing this, Brother Mark, when it wasn't even popular. So when I think about his work stands as a body of legacy right here in Durham, North Carolina.
Yeah, no doubt. Bruce is definitely missed, and like I said, the No Bookstore is missed. I have friends. I had him talk to Brother Al Key yesterday, and I know Al was saying that he misses it, and a lot of folks have even asked me whether Brother Bruce still has the books that he collected and everything. And I was like, as far as I know, he still got them, but I don't know. He might have sold some of them, but hopefully the bookstore will come back in some form or fashion, and we can have those books back at our disposal, because a lot of times that knowledge is missed by our kids. I know even on this show, me and Dean have talked about the fact that a lot of the stuff that you were teaching at the bookstore is not even being attempted to be taught in our school system. I mean, we did have the lady that runs St. Souljah, so she's doing a good job of teaching stuff, but a lot of others are not teaching things.
Yes. I mean,
you know, Mark, can you still hear me? Am I on now, Mark?
Yeah, you're on, brother.
Yes, you're on.
All right, well, I want to thank this caller, Mark, first of all, because, and I'm glad he made me think of some people who I have had to come to Durham, like he mentioned 4 or 5 that I didn't even mention, like H. Rap Brown, who is incarcerated right now, Jamil El-Amin, who was a strong brother in the history of black America and who stood strong for several years in this country, along with Stokely Carmichael, and brother also mentioned Ishaka Musa Barashanka. Another thing he made me think about, and that is the fact that I did not do this by myself. The brother who's on the phone had a big hand in sometimes getting these people to come to Durham, and also this brother who's talking right now, Fahim Knight, would also open up sometimes for me, and then I'd bring the speaker on or whatever, but he was a part of putting the flyers out and letting and Carter Q at the library. I'm calling this, some other unknown notables, Carter Q, who you know, Mark, at the Stanford L. Warren Library. He used to work with us on Dillard Street and help bring people in, and if we ever needed a place to have something, we could have it at the Stanford L. Warren Library. As a matter of fact, before the bookstore opened, I'm going back to Miss Bonds, Preston Bonds' mother, your neighbor. She allowed us to use the student union at NCCU while I was here. Before there was a bookstore, and then after we could not use the student union anymore for no reason for the student union, because I got to take my hat off to Mr. Thurman Prescott, who's in a rest home now, from what I understand. Hope he feels better. But Mr. Prescott let us use it during the summer, but then when school opened, they had to use the space. But he was always open and cordial to us having a place to have the program. But after that, we went to St. Joseph Church, and Miss Tammy's mother, I can't think of her name now, Miss Williams, right, Miss Williams, she allowed us to use St. Joseph Church. All this is before the No Bookstore opened. And this history, and the brother who's on the other line would be the brother to do it, but he's working on his own books, Brother Fahim Knight. But this the history that really needs to be written, Mark. So I'm glad you got him on. He also made me think about the 2 radio talk shows that I used to do, and he was a part of that. I would come on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and I just gave your show, Mark, the same name, your radio classroom. This is a classroom tonight. I called some of your students who are talking now. I called them and told them, I said, y'all going to be in class tonight? Got 2 or 3 on the line right now who I called, and they said, oh, I'm glad you called me because I was asleep. I said, well, you need to wake up because the teacher's getting ready to come into the classroom, so they're online now. But anyway, I would when I would be gone and couldn't do the cultural awareness seminar, I might be on the road somewhere speaking. Fahim Knight would sit in for me on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on radio station WDUR 1490 AM and do the cultural awareness seminar, your radio classroom, and then I would leave at 10 o'clock from the cultural awareness seminar, go open the bookstore, stay till 8 o'clock at night. From 10 to 8 now, and then close the bookstore, go home and get a couple hours of sleep, and then go back to the radio station and do another talk show called Talk Harambe with a good brother, friend of mine, Matthew Hamidullah, and we would stay on from 12 midnight. Dig this now, Mark, and to your listeners. 12 midnight Saturday night till 6 a.m. Sunday morning. We would stay on the whole time. And later on, Brother Matthew and I got tired. So we split the time up. We stayed on from 12 to 3, and then from 3 to 6, Brother Fahim Knight and another brother named Rod Bobby came on, and they took it on into 6 o'clock in the morning. We talk about what's going on in the world. We turn a page on, do some poetry. We have a guest. We talk about health, proper foods to eat. We have a little comedy. Matthew would be doing a little pounding and play music. We even played conscious music on the show, and that was called Talk Harambe. And those who are listening, Talk Harambe, that's 2 key Swahili words, Harambe, which means let's all pull together in unity. And after my programs went off, in all due respect, casting no aspersions on any talk shows that are on now, there's nothing on like what Brother Fahim, Brother Matthew, Brother Rod Bobby, Sister Alice Ely Jones had on WDR. There's nothing like that now. I mean, and Brother Fahim can know that, and you, Mark, you know it too. I mean, we got some little programs on, all due respect to these programs, but the knowledge is not there. One thing that we always strove to do, myself, Brother Fahim, Brad Bob, we always tried to have knowledge and have something to say when you go before the people. It makes no sense for any representative of African American community to stand before his people or before the world and come out ignorant and nothing to say and just talking and laughing. Have some substance to whatever it is you're trying to give your people. So I want to thank Fahim because he made me think about those things that need to be mentioned here.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he definitely
is your
did a
show
good
being
job
recorded? Is your